All right. So what do you call it when a president's output is completely erased? Not reversed, not overridden, but erased. You call it what it is, a second inauguration, because the slate isn't simply wiped clean, it's rebuilt from the ground up. America didn't just get a new president in 2025, it got a reboot, a kind of reset that founders built into the system for moments when government, not the people, have lost its mind. When Trump did what Trump did by nullifying the autopen era was symbolic. It wasn't just symbolic, it was foundational. He didn't just change policy, he changed time. Everything from January 2021 to January 2025 now falls into two categories: things that Biden physically signed and things that the autopen impersonated. And guess which pile is bigger? The autopen impersonation pile isn't just taller, it's Mount Everest compared to a speed bump. So let's talk about what that means. Practically, legally, historically, and for every American who lived through the chaos of that 4-year hologram presidency. Because history isn't going to treat this as a quirky footnote. This is the kind of scandal that redefines entire political eras. So here's where the media is praying you don't look too closely or listen to us here. When a presidential action is invalid, every downstream becomes invalid as well. It's not valid. Anything underneath it is also not valid. Okay. So what's in the blast radius? Well, number one, regulations. And there were lots of them: environmental, agricultural, educational, transportation, immigration, labor, all gone. Every so-called modernization rule, every climate adjusted, every equity compliance requirement, no signature, no authority. Number two, agency guidance. Those interpretations agencies love to enforce as though they were law, wiped, nullified, gone. Guidance is the only legitimate if rooted in actual executive action. This wasn't. Number three, enforcement priorities. That means the deportation guidelines, the IRS targeting memos, the ATF reinterpretations, Department of Justice charging priorities, Department of Homeland Security parole protocols, education, civil rights expansions, all gone. Gone. Grants, awards, and contracts, billions of dollars in Biden incentives now hang in midair like Wiley E. Coyote after realizing the cliff ended 30 feet ago. Every grant that depended on an autopen authorization is now in question. And the Trump team knows it. Number five, and this is big, COVID-related directives, funding, oversight, mandates, vaccine infrastructure, pandemic classifications. So much of this was signed during lids, now being reviewed. Executive orders. Some existed, most didn't. Well, at least legally. Almost every executive order Biden bragged about was on camera and was actually signed off camera by the machine. Number seven, international agreements. Some of the foreign policy, quote, commitments made by staff under Biden now have the legal weight of a Hallmark card. This is why foreign diplomats are contacting Trump, not Biden's leftovers. They know where the authority actually sits now. Okay, let's be blunt. If Trump had left the Biden era autopen documents intact, every lawsuit filed against him, every agency resisting him, and every activist group trying to sabotage him would have used those illegal documents as weapons. They will have pointed to the Biden signed this and said, see, Trump is reversing legitimate policy. But once Trump proved that Biden didn't sign them, once he exposed the impersonation, those weapons just became dust. He didn't nuke the opposition. He nuked the ammunition. This is why Democrats are screaming and why NGOs are melting down and why the media is pretending the sun didn't rise this morning. Trump didn't just undo Biden. He delegitimized the entire operations. Historians will never say it publicly, not for another 40 years, not until this generation of journalists and bureaucrats is long gone. But privately, they're already writing the same thing. Biden presided over the least engaged, least aware, least present presidency in American history. Because the evidence is overwhelming. Biden was not present for briefings. He wasn't present for signings. He wasn't present for agency reviews, not present for legal consultations, not present for authorizations. They propped him up for camera and automated the rest. The president became a puppet show where the puppet fell asleep and the string pullers just shrugged and kept performing. Historians will call it this: the administrative regency. The autopen years, the bypass presidency. About this one, the era of staff rule. About this one, the presidency that wasn't. But the term will stick, the counterfeit presidency, because that's what it was. Not legitimate in the electoral sense, illegitimate in the governing sense. 4 years of ghost governance, and Trump had every constitutional right and actually the obligation to clear the debris. This is the part of the story that nobody is prepared for, right? If America's governing framework reset, that means the rebuilding begins now. And Trump gets to rebuild everything from zero. Number one, immigration. The autopen signed nearly every priority shift. Now Trump can reconstruct immigration policy from the ground up without a legacy to fight. Energy. Biden's climate directives. Autopen. Invalid. Trump now has a clear runway to rebuild U.S. energy dominance without the regulatory barnacles the left attached for 4 years. Education. DEI guidelines. Title IX reinterpretations, gender policy memos, all were autopen. Trump can now reconstruct the education policy with no bureaucratic baggage. Crime and justice. Biden's DOJ priorities, gone. Trump can remake federal law enforcement from scratch. Real priorities, real clarity. No phantom orders. Border security. The autopen created the chaos. Now Trump can restore order without Biden era policy conflicts. Number 6, the administrative state. This is a big one. For years, agencies have justified their power by pointing to presidential signatures. Now, those signatures are illegitimate. Trump isn't just draining the swamp. He pulled the plug and is draining the reservoir. Now, let's widen the lens. What happened here isn't about Trump. They're going to try to make it about Trump. It's not about Trump. It's not about even about Biden. It's about something much deeper. It's about who actually runs federal government. If a president can be replaced by a staff operated machine, if governing power can be exercised without the elected executive, if bureaucrats can impose authority through a mechanical pen, then the Constitution is nothing more than a polite suggestion. This scandal, the autopen presidency, exposed something terrifying. America has a permanent ruling class that believes the president is optional. They only care about the appearance of a president, not the president themselves. They want this. They want the signature, the branding, the set dressing, the illusions of legitimacy. Not the man, not the decision maker, not the executive. And when the American people elected Donald Trump in 2024, they didn't just reject Biden. Wasn't that they didn't? They rejected the entire arrangement. This wasn't a policy election. This was a sovereignty election. The people said this: we picked the president, not the staff, not the donors, not the think tanks, not the agencies, not the consultants, not the activists, not the shadow government. We do. And then Trump acted accordingly. This moment, this autopen revelation, will go down as one of the most consequential discoveries in modern political history. Because it wasn't just a scandal. Because it wasn't just a constitutional emergency. It wasn't just because of some bureaucratic collapse. It was a revelation about something far bigger. The American people were lied to about who was running the country. And when the truth came to light, when the forged authority evaporated, when the signature machine was exposed, when the reset button was slammed, and America didn't fall apart. America woke up. This isn't chaos. This is clarity. The moment when the fog lifted and the curtain dropped and the country remembered, government gets its power from the people, not from a machine, not from a staff, not from a signature robot, not from a shadow government, from us. And now the rebuild begins. This has been the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. Just like always, we'll go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.